Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. We're gonna be doing another reading vlog. So it is Sunday, January something 16th. I am tired. I woke up at 5:45 this morning and I couldn't get back to sleep. So I've just been filming and editing videos this morning. But as of right now, I am officially done with everything I need to get done. Yesterday was a big cleaning day for me, and today has been being productive this morning. So I'm just gonna sit and read pretty much the rest of today, or chill out, whichever I choose, but it's gonna be a relaxed day. So I figured I'd start filming now. If you watched the end of last week's vlog, my sister-in-law was in the ER for almost all of Friday. She is out. She wasn't doing great Friday and Saturday, but she's doing much better today. So what am I currently reading? I am 70% through Before Their Hang by Joe Abercrombie. Loving it. I'm either going to finish it today or tomorrow. I don't totally know. It's going to depend on how my day today goes, if I'm in the mood for an audiobook or not. I have like three and a half hours on times 2 speed left, so it's like 7 hours actually. And then I am reading The Two-Faced Queen, which I really want to make a dent into today. I have a schedule for that. It's my book club's pick, and that's what we're reading together. But I am 30 pages away from finishing up today's section because I read a little bit extra yesterday, and I really want to catch up, do some extra for this coming week because I think I'm going to be really busy this week, and I don't think I'm going to want to be reading this book as long as I originally planned. I'm gonna go sit down on my nice, wonderful chair out on the porch. It is like 30 degrees out right now, so I'm very bundled up, and I am going to get out of the wind because it's also super windy out today. And I'm gonna read on the porch for as long as I can, and then I'm gonna have some breakfast or lunch depending on what time it is, and then I'm probably gonna read inside for a while. I'm tired and quite a mess because this took me almost an hour to complete. But basically I've been working on these paintings since I moved into my house, and I'll show them to you in just a second. I just don't have a lot of time to finish them up. So I thought maybe I hung them on my walls, I would see them and I'd be more inclined to finish them. So the whole entire concept here is you go from that side to this side, and it's gonna be like sunrise to sunset, different skies. I did mess up one, but I actually kind of like how it looks. So this one is correct, this one is incorrect. It's supposed to be sideways, but I think I'm gonna leave it because I kind of like having it a little bit different. And then yes, there are gaps at the top and bottoms. I might go through all of my canvases and see if I have more long ones that would fit, because if I do, I'm gonna put them there, and then I'm gonna have a nice collage walls. Okay, so I've only painted some of them, but I have 4 sunrises, and they're all with the same 4 colors. Basically, there's a white, a blue, a pink, and a yellow that I have. But if you get up close, there's also a gold paint pen running through all of them, and it's kind of the connecting feature. And then I have 3 evening night ones done. So this one's one of my favorites. I think it looks so good. And then I have this one, which is my mom's favorite. It's super cute, And then this one, which is also just like really above and beyond. And they all do have texture to them, so I don't think I can show that on camera too well, but the paint is 3D because I use modeling paste to paint with my acrylics. So I'm gonna go upstairs and see if I have canvases, because I think I might have something that's gonna work there. Okay, so I have some canvases in a bag here. I have these long ones, but I think these are much too long. Yeah, I can already tell this is too big. But let's put it up here for you all to see. So, yeah, too long. So it needs to be shorter than 24 inches, that's for sure. I read like 15 pages of my book earlier, and then I got hungry, and then I started working on a concept for a video that I've been wanting to film for a while, but haven't like sat down to do the conceptual beginning. I think soon I'm gonna go on a walk and then come back and shower. I'm gonna film the intro to that video, and then I'm gonna read. I have some paintings to get done now that if I don't get done, you all can peer pressure me into doing them. Hi, I just came back from my afternoon walk. I decided not to go on one earlier before lunch, and I am listening to Before They're Hanged by Joe Abercrombie. I'm gonna give the slightest spoiler. I'm not gonna say who did what, but I'm gonna talk about something that happened while I was on my walk in the book. Also though, I have started a like art reading journal. I used to keep a reading journal, a physical one. I keep an electronic one now, and it just got to be a pain with never having it with me when I wanted to journal, like if I'm out and about. But I wanted to have an artistic one. I think I showed you guys last reading vlog where I could like make really artistic pages for very specific books. It wouldn't be for all books, it would just be for specific ones. And so I did one for The Eye of the Worlds, and I'm gonna sit down now and do one for Iron Widow because I really enjoyed that. So I'm gonna start ripping up some paper because I have a really cool idea for it while we talk about what just happened. Actually, before I spoil you about what happened, one of the things I like wasn't ready for Joe Abercrombie to do was to make me fall so in love with these characters. From book one, I had already loved pretty much everyone who's in our main crew. Anyone who has a perspective. The only character that I didn't really love was West, to be honest. That I understood his purpose in the book. I just had some issues with what he did to Artie, and I feel like it wasn't forgivable. Everyone else though I really like Grokter. I've recently learned that I'm saying his name wrong. That's the correct way to say it. I really liked Giselle. I was mediocre about Logan at first, and as time went on, I really did start to fall for him. I loved Pharaoh from the very beginning. I really enjoyed his characters. So like by the end of the book, I pretty much liked all of his characters except for West, right? I didn't expect for book two to be so much so me falling even harder for these characters. Like I have fallen so hard for them, and I didn't realize that could happen, and I didn't realize that it was going to be such a thing that Joe Abercrombie did. He just writes his characters so well. There's not like a ton to the plot. It's kind of book one was about people coming together, and book two is kind of about them walking on this journey. He really does. If you're gonna have a book like that, you have to have strong characters. You have to have characters that people are interested in reading about, and Joe Abercrombie really did it. He really made characters that I was like, yeah, I want to see them walk 5,000 miles. I'm gonna have to leave because my dad is coming over to do some work on my bathroom, and I need to help him with it for a little bit. There was a sex scene in this book. There was a graphic sex scene in this book. I was not expecting Joe Abercrombie to write a graphic sex scene in this book. I was trying not to scream while I was on my walk. It wasn't necessarily that I didn't mind. I don't mind there being sex scenes in books. I just was not expecting it, and I was like very convinced that the two characters who did have sex, oh my god, this light. I was very convinced that they were father-daughter relationship. Anyways, my dad's here. I'll come back in a few minutes and finish up saying what I need to say and ripping this paper. I'm back and I'm much dirtier now. So we hung a piece of drywall. I have popcorn ceilings throughout my entire apartment. We hung a piece of drywall on my bathroom ceiling because my mom took the popcorn off there to kind of test if it would come off easy enough. And it did come off really easy, but my dad said, well, since this is such a small room, we should just put drywall up on it and see how that goes instead of trying to like mud the entire thing before painting and everything. Flabbergasted that I heard someone online call him Joey Abercrombie the other day, and I lost my shit. That Joey Abercrombie put a sex scene in his book. I couldn't believe it. Could not. Anyways, I'm really enjoying Before They're Hanged. I am officially home, showered, getting in bed, reading for the night. I've actually been reading for like the last hour, but I'm checking in with you all now because I have updates to make. So as you saw, I finished Before They're Hanged. Really enjoyed it. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as book 1, but I enjoyed it absolutely so much. It was a 5-star, 100%. I realize I haven't told you all what this book is about, and to be honest, I can't say a ton. I feel like I'm safe saying that after book 1, we saw a lot of our characters coming together to kind of collect this item to stop this war or to help them fight in this war, and then we saw some of our characters going off to fight in the war in different ways. So in this book, we're following multiple POVs, all of the same POVs as the first book. One of our characters is off trying to negotiate with this town that is like right on the border. We have this other character who is going to fight in a different town on the border. And then we have our group of people who are traveling together, and they are heading towards this item that they think can help them win the war. I forget that failure is an option sometimes. I forget that like that can happen because so many authors, I feel like, don't write failure and don't have that as like an actual thing that happens to characters. And so when I got to the ending of this book, I was so shocked. And I'm not going to tell you who or what or how. Failure was a huge part of the end of the story, and it kind of affected everyone in some way, shape, or form. And I loved it. It was fantastic. The characters really had so much development in them this book. I talked about it when I read The Blade itself, that I was convinced that Giselle was going to go through such a character arc, and I was so ready for it. And he did. He went through it in this book, and I guess I kind of wanted it to be an ongoing development into book 3, but I'm so happy with where we're going with him, and I do still see some glimpses of the old man that he used to be, so we know that he's not completely fixed in his new ways. I am super surprised how much I loved Logan in this book. I talked about it earlier where I grew to like Logan in book 1, but I genuinely really loved Logan in book 2. And I'm just so shocked because I can remember distinctly when I started book 1, Logan has the first POV, and I was like, oh, I'm just not feeling this. And now I have already put book 3 on hold from my library, but it's going to take a few weeks to get to me. I'm really hoping I can make it onto TBR Opley for February. So I don't have it with me right now. It's in my bedroom. I should have brought it with me, but I did just make it to page 300 of The Two-Faced Queen. I'm struggling with it a little bit right now. It's not as good as book 1, but it's more cringy than book 1. So I think book 1 found a really good balance between fun, cringy, and having just the right amount of plot and character development that we needed to like be a decent 3-star book. And this one, like, I'm having a good time. I'm having fun reading it. And maybe I just wore myself out because I read like 160 pages yesterday, and then I read like 90 pages today of it. So maybe I just need to take a break from it, but I'm just kind of bored with the book. It's not my bedtime yet though. It is 9 o'clock, and I am trying now so hard to stay up until 10 on weeknights because I'm just, it's a weird thing, but it's one of my efforts right now. So I think I'm gonna go and pick up Whisper of Shadow and Flame again, just for at least like the next 40 minutes until I get tired. I am about to start chapter 3. I picked this up like 2 weeks ago, and I was just kind of shell shocked because I didn't realize that it was going to be different main characters in this book. So now that I've like accepted that fact, I'm ready to sit down and do some reading of this. I don't know if I actually will make it very far into this or not. There is always a solid chance that I just zone out, go on TikTok. I'm home from work. Happy Monday, everyone. I am slowly making progress through The Two-Faced Queen. As of right now, I am on page 326 out of like 570 pages. I'm really hoping that tonight I can just tackle a bunch of this book because I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm a little bit done with it, and there have been too many bad cringy scenes and not enough good cringy scenes. I haven't talked about what this book is about because it is a sequel and it's kind of hard to explain and it's super complex. There's a lot to it, but I will say for sure, I will definitely agree now where I'm at in the book that book 2 is not as good as book 1. I'm not enjoying it as much. I just hit an entire chapter where I tabbed the entire chapter as bad, and there have been a few other sections where I've been like, this entire thing is just ugh. Cringy for some of it. Some of it is illogical, like it doesn't match up with some of the things that characters have like said previously, and I understand that the entire book revolves around memory loss, but it's not in that way. It's in a like the author forgot what they had said previously about a character and now they're saying something else about said character. And then just some really weird out of the blue scenes. I'm not gonna say what, but there's this entire scene with the centipede, which was disgusting and I don't understand. So we are following Michael. Michael's entire family has been branded as a traitor. His entire family is supposed to be the people who protect the king or the next in line to the throne. His father, I think it was like 10 years ago when the first book started, killed the king-to-be, but Michael is convinced that his father didn't actually do it. And so he's trying to find proof that his dad didn't actually kill the king-to-be. And there's this whole entire magic system where if you use magic untrained, you lose your memories. So Michael finds out that he has a gift and is like concerned that he's starting to lose his memories in book 1. In book 2, he is now being convicted of this murder that happened in book 1 because everyone thinks he did it, but he didn't actually do it. And then he's also trying to learn more about his abilities, and he's also trying to balance like work-life balance. I also started Nemesis games this morning and I'm enjoying it. I wasn't prepared for who our main characters were going to be. So every single book we follow James Holden and his crew as they are worried about this galactic war that is about to be happening, right? And then also in every single book there are different side POVs. So you get usually 3 to 4 POVs of different people that are important to that story, but we've never once gotten the POVs of any of James Holden's crew. And in this book, every single side POV is someone from his crew. So we literally have James Holden, Naomi. It's funny, I was just talking about Naomi and the Two-Faced Queen. This Naomi's great. Amos and Alex are the 4 POVs that we get. I don't know, I got really weird about it because we've been following these people for this is the 5th book, and I've never seen any of their POVs before. And now all of a sudden, like I love these characters, but now I'm seeing how they think and how they feel, and I don't know how I feel about it. And it's just kind of, it's weird for me. It's super weird for me. I think I'm gonna just kind of take it chill. I was, bragging earlier about like, oh, I could be finishing this up and Elantris this week, but I don't want to push it because I'm so apprehensive about this book now that I know like what it's about, that I don't want to hate it because I'm forcing myself through it. Good morning. We are having another really cold Florida day, which I love. So normally Florida weather in the winter, at least where I live, because city to city is completely different. I could go 45 minutes north, south, east, or west and have completely different weather. But where I live, usually we're talking lows of 30s or 40s overnight. And then during the day, we're gonna be in the 70s to 80s, which is a drastic change. And that means that in the morning, you dress like it's the cold of winter, and in the afternoon, you take everything off and you're running around in a tank top. Today, and the rest of this week, it happened yesterday too, for whatever reason, our lows are in the 30s and our high is like 58, 59, 60 degrees. So a lot of us are really confused what you're supposed to do when you have to dress like it's cold all the time. Which I know a lot of people will be like, oh my God, 50 degrees isn't cold. What are you talking about? It's cold, it's cold. There's a wind chill, there's humidity, it's freezing out. I did not sit and marathon this book yesterday like I thought I was going to. Instead, and I'm totally okay with this, I sat on the couch and I watched TV for a while. I haven't done that in so long that I was like, if this is what I'm in the mood for, this is what I'm gonna do. But that means that I do have 200 pages left in this book before I finish it. I'm kind of hoping I can get like 100 pages done today and then just 100 pages tomorrow and I'll be done. How am I feeling? The more I read, the less I like this book. Hi, so we're gonna sit and just have a brief little chat while I open up 2 Amazon packages, because 2 things that I use on a daily basis, my phone and my water bottle, which you can see back here, broke 2 days ago. My phone's fine, it's my phone case that is broken. Change it out, open up my water bottle, and we're gonna talk about how my day went today. Today was a really good day. I don't think I've mentioned it on my channel that today was going to be happening, but I have mentioned on my channel before that, I'm sorry, this noise is awful, I'm so sorry. Back in September, going to go to my company and ask for a raise because it had been my 1 year and no one was talking about anything and I didn't feel like I was being paid a fair wage for all of the work that I was doing for everyone. And in September, I went to my boss and said, hey, I'd really like to have a review and I'd really like to talk about my compensation. And they said to me, hey, we do yearly reviews in February, we'll talk to you then. And I was like, okay, well, it's September now. So I think it was the end of September. So I was like, okay, I gotta wait October, November, December, January, and then I can talk. I was like, I like my company enough that I don't want to just brush them off and leave them or like start looking for a new position. Look at the color change. I got this a year ago. I freaking love this case so much. It is an OtterBox doing like a sensory thing and I like peeled an important piece off of the case and it's breaking now. So I decided to wait. I was like, hey, you know what? I really like my company. I respect everyone. I want to wait until February at least before I'm gonna have like an issue. And at least they know that it's something that I want to talk about. So today was that day. I know it's not February. My boss came to me last week and was like, hey, we're actually going to do reviews next week, not in February. And I was like, heck yeah. So I had my yearly review today and it went amazingly. It went better than I thought. Honestly, I had prepared myself to go in and negotiate whatever they were going to offer me. I had a set price in mind of what I wanted my raise to be. And I'm not going to talk about numbers here. I have no problem talking about numbers. I just feel like that would make the video super long. But I wanted a 7% raise. And so I went in today and I was ready to argue to get a 7% raise, whatever they were going to offer me. And they offered me a 7% raise. So I was like, yes, thank you. This is my water bottle. I love it. I'm not gonna lie, I bought it because the colors reminded me a little bit of Ninth House, the really nice cover. I don't have that cover, but I think I'm gonna put some stickers on the outside of it, and I'm kind of thinking about designing up some constellation stickers because I think those would look nice on here. But it's supposed to be like dent proof and whatever, and it's supposed to have 32 ounces, and my other water bottle is 36, I think. So this is the brand. As you saw earlier, I finished the Too Faced Queen this morning and I didn't love it. Hi, it's been a few days. It's Friday night. I'm gonna keep vlogging this evening and part of tomorrow, but I need to update you all. So I didn't talk to you yesterday, but I talked to you the day before. And since then, I have made very, very little progress through Nemesis games. I think I'm like maybe 10% farther. I think I'm really close to like 35% through. I'm not totally sure why I'm going so slowly through this book. I think part of it is all of our main characters have been separated from each other, and I feel like I'm getting more of a bunch of short stories instead of like an overarching story. And I also, like, I've learned one of the things I love most in books and reading and really any type of media is interactions between characters. So when you separate the 4 characters that I'm really interested in and have them all do their own journey, I'm not as interested anymore in seeing what they're doing. And in fact, one of our characters, Alex, has met back up with Bobby, a character from book 2. And I'm way more interested in his perspective right now because he's interacting with someone I know and care about. Whereas everyone else is just interacting with these people from their past who I don't know about and I don't care about. And I'm just kind of like not wanting to keep going with it. 2022 is going to be the year where I'm okay with taking months to read books. All I need to do is start this book in order to count it towards TBR-opoly. And that means I'm going to be absolutely okay if I don't finish this book this month, if I put it on pause, if I DNF and then come back to it later, if I need to do whatever I need to do to have a good time reading. Because I do feel like in January, I've not been having the best time reading. I don't know what my average for the month is right now, but I know it's low, meaning like my average rating for books that I've read. If I'm not vibing with a book that I know 100% I should be vibing with, I'm not going to hesitate. I'm going to stick it down. And I already decided I'm not going to be moving on to the next book next month because I haven't finished this one. But even if I do manage to finish this one in the next like 10 days, I'm not going to move on to book 2 or 6 next month because it's just clearly I need a break from them. So I do plan on still finishing up the series this year. It just won't be as quick as I thought it was going to be. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, hello, welcome to my channel. I started a book, it wasn't yesterday, it was Wednesday night, called Wake the Bones. Oh, my dudes, I am like 80% through it right now, and I'm loving it. It's going to be a 5-star. Like, the author would really have to mess up the ending for it to be a 4.5, and even then, it's a fantastic book and I'm enjoying it so much. In fact, I've already decided that I'm going to have a video completely dedicated to it where I'm going to talk about all the things I love about it. But I'm going to give you some brief thoughts here. The book doesn't come out until July and I'm so mad about that because I want to buy a copy and put it on my shelf right now. I want for other people to read it so that I can like talk to them about it. It just has all the vibes. So we are following a group of friends. We are following mainly Laurel. There are 4 friends, but we're mainly following Laurel as she is returning home after failing out of college. They live in this rural backcountry town, and she's kind of dealing with this idea of returning to her friends, and their lives have moved on and her life has moved on, but they have this childhood connection to each other and they're always going to be friends with each other, but they've changed a lot and they now have secrets from each other and hidden wants, and they're adults now who have emotional connections and needs and wants connected to each other and away from each other. Following her home as it is being haunted by the devil because her mother died there years and years and years ago, and there's something weird happened when she died and it introduced the devil into their lives. And so now Laurel is being hunted by this like deer skeleton thing while she's also trying to rekindle her childhood with her friends. And also she's trying to get her friends out of horrible situations, abusive families. There's love, there's yearning, there's an LGBTQ plus relationship in the main cast of characters. There's this witch who is like helping Laurel, but she's like young too. I think she's like 19 or 20 years old. All of our characters are kind of in the like 18 to 21 range of age, and the horror isn't necessarily like overly scary, but it is grotesque. Lots of rotting, lots of blood, lots of organs. It's just so enjoyable. I wish I had my phone on me because I want to read you some of the quotes from the book because I'm highlighting things as I go and I want to reread this right when it's published and like highlight in the physical book. But the way that this author writes is fantastic. She does a phenomenal job. I'm going to say goodnight to you here. And tomorrow when I have my phone on me, I will read you some of the quotes before we say goodbye forever. Okay, not forever, just until next week, but I'm here now with my phone. It's freezing out today, guys. I'm gonna read you some quotes from this book before we say goodbye. First up, one of my favorite quotes is how they introduced the witch-like character. She kept a garden but not a house. The trailer she'd lived in for the past 6 years was serviceable but not pretty, and definitely not homey the way that her granny had made. She was fat and pale with a pinched face, dark eyes that reflected judgment like a mirror, and thick unruly hair that grew out obscene shades of red. She was unlovely, yet still prone to vanity that they felt was undeserved. That alone gave them self-appointed rights to disapprove of her. Here's another quote. This is a really short one. It just says, "There wasn't a lot of future left for her to wear." Ugh. Here's a really, really good one. But there was plenty of lies that Isaac needed people to believe in order for his life to work. "I'll be fine to go home tonight. He's probably passed out anyways. I tripped on a root in the woods and that's how I busted my lip. I'm not in love with you, so I can leave this shitty town behind without regret." Oh my God. Christine could taste the end of the world at the end of the word, all ash and snow packed against her teeth. She should have walked away. She knew the flavor of a fight in the air. She'd rather fight and lose than keep waiting for something to start. The more complicated monsters went to work and church with folks who thought of them as all right sorts, and then came home and beat his son because he thought hurt was something Isaac ought to inherit. Oh my God! Anyways, I'm not gonna read any more because they're gonna get into like spoiler territory, but this book was so good. I ended up not finishing it last night. I had like 30 minutes left when I woke up this morning, so I woke up and finished it the first thing in bed this morning, and I really, really, really enjoyed the book. I'm waffling still between a 4.5 and a 5 star, to be completely honest. I think if I were to compare it against all debut books that have ever been written, I would easily rate it a 5 star, but if I'm to compare it against all books ever to have been written, it's more of a 4.5. I will definitely let you know what I decide to rate it in my wrap up, and I will be doing a video for it next month. It should be the second week of February. That Friday you should be seeing a video hopefully for this. I appreciate each and every one of you. You're all doing great. It's way too cold out right now for me. I hope you're having a good day. I don't remember how my outro goes, but until next time, I'll talk to you in the comments. Bye.